Okay, so first episode of the current Revolt podcast. Many people have been asking for it, so we're finally delivering. My name is Tony Ortiz, and I am the publisher for Current Revolt, and I also do some writing. We've been wanting to launch a podcast for a while, and I've been hesitant for it. It seems like everybody you meet has a podcast, and I haven't wanted to do it. But I feel like that's kind of the way things are going. People want quick, easy to consume content. I'm like that. I hate, not being able to consume an article or something in a few minutes, and I hope this can kind of solve that for some people. So yeah, first episode today. Our first guest, Mitchell Ryan. Mitchell is a former precinct chair, a Republican guy that is also being or coming onto the current Revolt team, helping with content creation and some editing. Mitchell, want to introduce yourself?
Hey Tony, yeah, I'm a guy, Republican. Live here in DFW, lifelong Texan, and excited to be helping out Current Revolt.
Well, we can use the help, so we're excited to have you on. I want to take this podcast and cover the articles for the week, ideally, and then maybe talk about what our many people are saying article is going to be. So let's
Hmm.
just dive right into it. I don't really want to spend too much time going back and forth, but like Monday's
No,
article. So we covered Tony Gonzales calling his opponent a neo-Nazi. So for those who don't know, Tony Gonzales in TX23 is Republican running against Brandon Herrera. Herrera is known as the gun guy.
the
Got a
AK
really
guy.
big, yeah, the AK guy. He's got a very, very successful YouTube channel. He's great. I'm a big fan of his. Been to his ranch a few times. Full disclosure, right? Been to his ranch a few times. Shotguns. Had a really great time. But you know, Gonzalez went. I don't know if you saw this clip. Gonzalez went on CNN and he referred to Herrera, who's Hispanic, as a neo-Nazi. Had you seen this clip before?
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Did you shoot the AK-50? For Tony Gonzalez is lame. I don't really care about him. Did you shoot that AK-50?
I did. I think I did. I don't know. I shot the thing I remember shooting was the minigun. The minigun is like a
Hmm.
life changing experience. And the Barrett, a 50 cal. I'd never shot a 50 cal before, and when you shoot it, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. But when you're standing next to it, the concussion from the side, from I don't know what you call it, the release of the bullet or whatever, like
Hmm.
it's you feel your teeth rattle. It's
Mm.
insane. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful for that. But yeah. Tony Gonzalez is boring.
Mm.
He's lame.
Right
The
into
party.
firearms to Tony Gonzalez.
He's been censored. I'm trying to stay on topic. He's been censored by the GOP. The neo-Nazi reference, I think it comes from Herrera reviewing an MP40, which is a Nazi Germany developed gun. It's just very absurd. It's like reaching, of
Like
course,
Stretch
and
Armstrong.
yeah, and you can tell Gonzalez is panicking, and Abbott endorsed him this week, which is insane. I guess maybe it's not insane. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know, but
Well, I just kind of look at Tony Gonzalez, and he just kind of looks kind of shifty.
he does look shifty.
Herrera looks like epic, like really high T. Um, I love AKs. I mean, what more else do we need to discuss? This is
Yeah,
neo-Nazi. Give me a break. I see that, my eyes roll out of my head.
yeah. This is it's exhausting. These names, like, does anybody even care anymore?
He's a
I don't know.
neo-Nazi.
Yeah. Anyway, the other story we covered this week is critical infrastructure for Texas Samsung plant awarded to foreign government. So, um, Mitch, you kind of want to run us through like part of what you saw when you read this article?
Yeah, you see Canada. I mean, believe it or not, as woke as Canada is, there's still some cool stuff going on there as
Like
far
what?
as technology. Just
Give it
technology.
to me.
They're still kind of they got civilization going along as our bridges collapse and everything. Canada, they seem to be doing a little bit better, but this, yeah, it wasn't just a Canadian company. It was actually just the Canadian government.
Yeah, and yeah, it's Samsung comes in. I guess Abbott gives or the government awards them a bunch of, tax write-offs or discounts, and then then Samsung hires the Canadian government to run this program, and it's filled with DEI stuff. I'm looking at their EPCOR's website, and they've got a section here that specifically highlights women in workforce slash women in senior leadership and like the percentage. And they're like, you can see that they're actively trying to specifically hire women for these positions to replace men.
Yeah, that's part of their ESG scores, and this was what the company was very proud of. And everything is tracking to 100%. They're trying to track to 100%. Then they've got this thing where it's tracking the number of women. And they're trying to get, I assume, to that 100% there as well. But yeah, they're just getting Samsung millions of dollars. Okay, we want to build up our manufacturing. We want to give some sort of incentives. There's pros and cons to that, but then it's given to Samsung, kind of a big company. It's foreign, and then all the new rules and all the new angst against ESGs and activities like the BlackRock and its investing, that kind of stuff. All those rules kind of don't apply because Samsung gets to decide, and they pick the Canadian government is going to run the water pipeline, some water treatment facilities, and they're going to be protecting the environment. Texans cut out. Texans seem to be cut
Yeah,
out
why
in
would you
this
hire Americans?
equations.
Why would you hire Texans?
Well,
You
I
could hire
assume
some
I assume
Canadians.
it's going to be people who live in Texas are going to work at these places. Who knows where will they bring the workers from? But $27 million from the state and the Texas Enterprise Fund, and then the federal government turns around and they'll just print anything. They just, I guess, maybe did like the lottery balls where they come out and little ping pong balls bounce around, and they came out with $6.4 billion that they were going to throw at. I don't know if it's Samsung or if it's this whole sort of project they've got down there where they're going to make, I don't know, I guess those green chips or
Microchips or
something.
something.
I thought robots made all that stuff. I don't know.
I wish. Or maybe I don't wish. It kind of reminds me, we did a story earlier, I want to say last week, about how a school in Midland is hiring foreign teachers to replace American teachers.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And it's like, well, maybe that's a story for another day. But this active replacement of American workers is exhausting, but will continue until something major changes. Um, Next thing we covered was Glenn Rogers, who just exhausts me with his whining. Like, we Tommy had wrote an article kind of defending Rogers, because he lost, he got totally wrecked. He got destroyed in his election, and he's gone on this whining campaign, just like crying about his loss, complaining, going on another podcast. What's the podcast name? I forget. Yolitics,
Yeah.
and with Jason Wheeler, Jason, is it Whitley, and just complaining. And he's just, it's exhausting. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, he originally was complaining about Abbott and that Abbott had used these deceptive tactics against him. And everyone was against him. And I felt bad for about 5 seconds as well because these were lies. But again, this is politics. What are you thinking, Glenn? He's a veterinarian and finds himself in these political battles where millions of dollars are spent. And then he's just aghast when someone said something that wasn't true. Oh my goodness! And he's going on a tour, and is he going to do a book, Tony?
You know what? I actually think he's probably going to do a book. Like,
I'm sure he will. I'm
yeah,
sure he
this shit's
will.
exhausting. Like, welcome to politics. Somebody said something that was a lie. Welcome to politics.
And I think Governor Abbott may have taken a page out of the current revolt playbook by tying everything to immigration. What Rogers said that he did was he said Abbott took his support of public schools and twisted it and said that Glenn Rogers is supporting public education for illegal aliens.
Right, I remember that.
which
Was
has
that done
been
in a mailer or was it like what was that sent out in?
it was sent out of
Something.
Glenn Rogers' mouth complaining about it nonstop. I don't know where this happened, but Glenn Rogers told me it happened everywhere, so
Yeah, well, he
I
can't stop
assume it
talking
happened.
about it, and I can't be any faster
Yeah,
done
Crimea
talking about
River.
Glenn
Again, he
Rogers.
went along with we're securing the border. Knowing full well you're not securing the border. We're securing the border.
I'm so tired of hearing these guys telling me the border's secure. It's every session, every year, every 5 minutes. They're like, "Yeah, we secured the border
It's
this
every
time, guys."
day from Abbott in
We
my email inbox.
Yeah, yeah. What was it today? Razor wire or something? Or maybe that was a different email. I don't remember.
It was an alert, and it just said razor wire.
Yeah, the border's not secure. I went down there. It's not. That's so funny. I made this trip down to the border, and it was totally unscripted, right? Didn't I went, didn't schedule anything with really anybody. I coordinated with other people to go, and we show up, and within the first 10 minutes of us being there, there's people being tossed over the wire, people throwing blankets to break down the razor wire, and then being escorted to a
Mm,
staging zone, like just showing up. It's like it's like, oh, it's just another Tuesday for them,
just
like
shuffling
no big
around.
deal. Yeah, it's exhausting. Another thing that exhausts me is yesterday's protesters, what they call it, yeah, pro-Palestine, anti-Israel, leftist protesters. I don't know what to call them, but Palestine protesters, and a journalist was arrested at UT. And Abbott was kind of grave dancing on them. These guys, like these kids, students, whatever, are protesting. I guess I don't, this shit. And if it doesn't happen in Texas, I don't care. So forgive me for not caring what happens in a country outside of Texas. I
Hmm.
really don't. It doesn't. I don't consume that content. I hear about it and I fall asleep. And so I guess all these kids are mad about Israel and Palestine and all this nonsense that's unrelated to Texas. And so they stage a protest, and Abbott brings out, like, all these cops come out, and Abbott's saying that they need to be arrested, and they ended up arresting like 30 plus students. And we wrote about this in a piece, like, we didn't, and the school shut down. The school was putting out announcements saying this is a dispersal order for occupants of the South
Hmm.
Mall. Order, it said, I command you in the name of the people of the state of Texas to disperse, and if you do not, you shall be arrested for violation of penal
Yeah,
code, blah blah blah.
that's from Ashley,
Ashley, yeah,
Police Chief
right, right.
Ashley.
Yeah,
Oh,
assistant
Assistant
chief
Chief
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley Griffin. And I don't remember any of this response being for the when the Capitol was shut down, when the LGBTQ people, like, shut down the state Capitol. You couldn't even walk around. They had staged like a die-in or something. And all of a sudden, like, the entire everything shuts down, and the non-fat police get called out to arrest these protesters. I mean, this is it not weird to you?
Yeah, they were pretty fit. Some of them were in pretty baggy clothes, but generally that was the elite. And this is where I turn into Tucker Carlson because Abbott is just so completely unhinged on this issue. And as I morph into Tucker Carlson, it's like, how would you explain to an alien who came down and wanted to know why the governor of your state is so obsessed with a foreign country and is arresting you if you protest against it? It
Yeah.
just, his tone, the words, the language he uses, Mr. Lawyer Man Abbott is just so over the top. And the laws that the legislature has passed regarding Israel, how you're not allowed to hold certain views on it. Again, imagine you're an alien and you just land on Earth and someone's going to explain to you this situation here and how the average Texan is benefiting by Abbott sending in guys on steroids to like muscle around these weed smoking kids who are just kind of going along with the trendy thing.
And they don't even know why they're there. Like, I think I retweeted something, and this girl gets asked, like, "Hey, what are you here for?" "Oh, we're here to support this thing. And the guy's like, well, what's this thing? Oh, it's something for Syria. Oh, what's going on there? Well, I don't really know. And she like turns to this girl next to her. She's like, why are we here? And she's like, oh, there's like a war going on in Israel. And she's like, and the guy's like, yeah, well, what's the details here? And she's like, I don't really know. I guess I should become more educated as to why I'm like protesting here. And that's what these kids are. Like their brains are rotted by like TikTok and like the weed and whatever else, like whatever like antidepressant drugs they're on. They don't even know what they're
Oh,
doing. They're just here for the coolest thing, you know. And here's the thing, like I am pro arresting these protesters, these leftist protesters. I'm exhausted with them. I'm exhausted with anybody who's going to block the highway or shut down a school or shut down a government. Like it's exhausting to me. Like imagine you're paying all this money to go to school and you can't even walk in or go to a class because some people are upset about something that's happening on the other side of the world. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? And so like arrest them. I'm fine with that. But I would love to see the same response given when they shut down the Capitol or when they shut down the highways. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, they've had these occupations of the Austin Capitol, and their explicit objective is to block the legislative process. And
Which isn't that a crime?
I,
I feel like that should be a
I
crime.
think it's like an insurrection. They put you in solitary confinement for forever.
Are you saying these leftists
If
staged their own J6? Is that what you're saying?
it was J6, but
Gay.
it was about sex.
Yeah, basically. That was what? When was that? That was in 2023. Was that like April? I think. I can't
No, well,
remember. I
they've
wrote it
done it.
down
They
somewhere.
did it. I think they've done it multiple times.
Yeah, it
Every
was
two
early
years,
2023.
there's a sex erection at the Austin Capitol, either illegal aliens or the people talking about sex. They take over the Capitol and they kind of halt everything for a little bit, and then they
Go
go
away.
home. The lunch after the lunch is kind of over, they go back home.
Well, it makes for some good social media pictures, I suppose. Um, And that's really all we covered this week. It really wasn't that exciting week, but we do have an exciting, many people are saying. So for those who are listening for the first time or like unfamiliar with us, every Friday we publish an article and it's behind our paywall. It's the only paywalled article we have every week. And this week we have a couple topics we're covering. I'm going to be very brief with them and then you can read more on our website. But the first one is a follow up on Bill Lisle. So we wrote a story about Bill Lisle. He's on the Planning and Zoning Commission in Plano, which sounds really boring to most people. But what the part that's interesting is that Bill Lisle had started asking the wrong questions about a specific project that got greenlighted. And he had a recording of a city council member admitting that or saying that they wanted to remove him and are asking him alternatively to step down um, for asking about that project. They were upset that he asked about it, that he was looking into it, that he found the project to not be up to par. And so this week they removed him. They actually voted to remove him.
Mm-hmm.
Only two members of the city council abstained or not abstained but voted against it. So very concerning, but not super unsurprising for Plano. Plano's kind of a mess. The other things we're going to be talking about, I haven't actually fully fleshed this one out. I am doing a follow up on the Schwartner arrest with regards to his son. So, for those who don't remember, Charles Schwartner, who's a senator, his son was arrested over revenge porn law that Schwartner, Dad Schwartner, Charles Schwartner, had voted for, SB 1135. Basically, according to these documents, and this is all according to documents, innocent until proven guilty and all that. But his son had threatened his ex-girlfriend that he was going to publish her nudes if she didn't give him some stuff back, and this was like 6 months later. It was very petty, and he did all this over text, and she reported it, and he got arrested. So his own son got arrested for a bill that he had approved. So we're going to follow up on that, see where the case is. It may be interesting and maybe not. Maybe that it just got tossed. Who knows? I mean, if you're a senator's son, does your case get tossed pretty easily? Maybe.
I don't
You
know.
know?
It was pretty egregious.
Yeah, pretty gross.
It was just so the intent was he couldn't have spelled it out any clearer, and so it didn't
Yeah,
look good
what
for
was
him.
I don't even want to read it on here, but you can go to our website and you can read it. It's pretty explicit what he texted. And then the final thing, and I tweeted about this earlier. If you're not following us on Twitter, you should twitter.com/Revolt. But a precinct chair got arrested at a polling location in Carrollton for assault. Um, we're going to talk about that. We've got photos of the injury. So I've actually got the photos of the assault and the person getting arrested. You hate to see it. I know the guy. I've had food with him. I find the guy on a normal basis relatively a good guy. I like him, and it just sucks that it gets to these things.
Mm,
You've
mm.
been to a few polling locations, right? You know how they get at the polling locations.
I've seen some scuffles.
Yeah, people get crazy at this stuff. So yeah, apparently there was an alleged assault. He was arrested. He's staying in jail overnight. He's in there right now when we're
What?
recording this thing. Yeah. So here's what's funny. Okay. So I was trying to find the mugshot, and Carrollton PD said that their website has been down for over a month, so
Oh,
they can't put it up. They can't put up the mugshot.
ransomware. They got
Yeah,
ransomware.
ransomware attack or something,
Guaranteed.
right?
All
Yeah,
these
maybe.
all these governments they never admit it. They won't admit
Yeah,
it.
that's something we should follow up on. And so we staff asked if they
Oh,
could go visit
sorry.
him, and the police were like, no, 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 you can't go visit. But I guess his court time's at 9 a.m. the morning that people are going to be listening to this, so 9 a.m. today. And you're like, well, you can swing by and you can come see him then. But man, I hate to see it. If it's true, I feel horrible for the woman that was assaulted. If it's not true, I feel bad for the guy getting arrested. But
Wait a
it's
minute.
just bad all around.
Did
So
he supposedly assaulted a woman? I had missed that part.
yeah, it's a woman,
Okay.
which it's not
Okay.
going to end well.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not
we'll
going to end
just
well. Maybe, but hopefully there's
wait a
footage
minute.
and what's that? Hmm?
Trans woman?
No, no, it was a
Okay.
real woman.
Okay.
It
Never
was a
mind.
real one. No, no, no.
Carry on.
It was from what I'm aware, it's Republican on Republican assault.
Ah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just rhinos versus
Mm. He
conservatives or
went rhino
grassroots or
hunting, I
whatever.
guess.
Yeah, he took rhino hunting a little too far. Oh no. I disavow. We don't approve of any
I
assaulting or
disavow.
anything. Yeah, I disavow it. So anyway, so that's today on this morning's. Many people are saying MPS, but yeah, that's our first show. I like to keep them short and sweet. I think we're gonna have different guests on every week to kind of chat about the articles and go through that. But if you're listening, shoot us a message. Let us know if you found it interesting or if it was quick enough or too fast. Love to get some feedback, and this will be like a work in progress, and hopefully get better as time goes on. So,
We need to get Ryan Cook on.
oh
Ryan Cook, hit
Jesus.
us up.
Yeah, if you want to be on the show, do hit us up. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or leftist or straight or trans. We want to talk. We loved your opinion on stuff because it's interesting, I think, usually.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, anyway, thanks for listening. More later.